Hello, long time no see. Well, I have been pretty awful actually because I had a dentist give me the wrong anaesthetic, which made me very ill. I did say not to give it, but he did, adrenaline, and it triggered off my CFS, ME, whatever. I haven't been out the house for 2 weeks, and I just, I'm not sleeping. I'm in a bungalow. I feel like a tiger in a cage, pacing around. What can I do? What can I do? And I try everything. So I thought I'll do a video. So I'm a bit blurry. Well, I'm feeling a bit blurry, so that doesn't matter, does it? I don't know what you thought of the last video of my prostitute experience. So this one's going to be completely different, more of a spiritual energy. And it's about I don't know. Visitors were not spirit. I mean, not ghosts and so forth, but masters that visit me, dear ones that visit me, and they can. I mean, I didn't know this, and of course we don't understand the power that they have and the manipulation they can do with all the molecules and cells and what have you. But they can actually come to the earth plane in full embodiment, and I've had one or two experiences, and they come in different levels of awareness. But it started me off with my dad, really. I've talked about my mum. Now, my dad was a very, very kind man. He was a pharmacist and a healer, and his hands were just beautiful, warm and soft and loving. And when I was a little girl, I would say, put your hands on my tummy, my solar plexus, and I thought he was healing me because I was a bit distressed at times. And so when I was distressed the other day, a couple of weeks ago, I just felt that his hands were with me. I could see them. I saw him in spirit, and he reached out his hands, and they were warm and soft as they always were. Now that's hard to comprehend. I have mentioned this before in a video about my next door neighbour, my friend, my lover, whatever, when he died and he came back to see me in spirit and how real he was. But I'm still amazed because I assumed that once you left your body, you haven't got the physicalness, the touching, the feeling, the warmth and all that stuff that you have with the physical body. So it's something to sort of think about and to learn about, I think, really. But there he was with his warm hands. And I said, oh, Dad, and of course it helped me a great deal. But there have been other occasions when dear ones, I'm not going to mention names obviously, but some very dear ones that I know and I work with and so forth, have just appeared. I mean, a grandmaster, ascended grandmaster, appeared by my bedside 5 years ago. He said, good morning, dearest. I mean, as real as life, as real could be. And I actually felt a hug. I mean, I could feel the hug. That was the start of a 5-year apprenticeship, which I've written a book about. I won't go into that now, but that was very real. I mean, it is hard to understand, and I wouldn't think I was clairvoyant, but obviously I've got some sort of inner sense to be able to sort of appreciate these things that happen, And of course Maharaji, my master, I was feeling very, very down a few months ago, and now he is on this plane living being. He's an airline pilot, but he's a great teacher, and he goes all over the world teaching, and I just felt him. I mean, I could feel the hug. He's not a slim man, but I could feel the squidgy, just a quick hug. And I thought, this is amazing, isn't it amazing? And I expect other people expect, I don't know, but every time it happens, I think, well, hang on, how do they do that? They've got to reassemble everything and travel a long way and then reassemble it again, and somehow they're very real with it. It is quite remarkable, and I had to say, I'm going to put my glasses on a minute. I can't see what I'm doing. Yeah, and the master that came to stand by my bedside, I could see him. I've got a huge big leather chair, a big armchair, and I sit opposite that, doing my tapestry, and I saw him sitting in this chair while I was doing my tapestry, and I think now, why didn't I speak to him? I think it was just like, I think what we do is slipping dimensions. So I I think there must be a kind of meeting place, if you know what I mean. And I think I'd gone into that and met him, so I didn't feel like it was anything different. And it was only when he'd gone I thought, gosh, why didn't I say something? I think he was observing me. He wanted me to do something for him, and I think we were having a bit of a do, and he was there observing me, and I was doing my tapestry. It was all very strange indeed. And oh gosh, and there was one very lovely. I mean, Jeshua, he comes to everyone. He's a magician. I mean, I did understand that what they do, these great ones, they can split themselves. They split the atom. So there's millions of them, and each one can be with us, sort of thing. It's quite I don't understand it myself, but it is quite clever. And I had a friend turn up at my door. This was a couple of years ago, and he was very, very distressed, and I could feel him sucking the light out of me, and I thought, oh God. So I said, well, we'll go up to tea to one of the hotels and sit in the garden, which we did, and he was obviously very upset about something, and I was a bit out of my depth, to be honest, to know what to say, and lo and behold, who should come and sit next to me, right on the right hand side here, but Jeshua. I mean, he sat there, you know, they kind of lounge. They sort of lean back like royal Roman emperors, what some of them do, and I was aware that he was helping me through this difficulty and probably talking to my friend as well. I don't know. So it is very clever, very magical, very clever. How are we doing? Only 6 minutes. My goodness me. Well, it's just as well because I'm feeling a little bit peculiar, as you know. So, yeah, there are lots of little things that I think about, and it is kind of, but these warm hands was quite peculiar. I mean, because the person's gone, where can the warmth be coming from? I suppose there must be a way we can, if we're clever enough. I mean, we do. I expect we've all seen shadows of people, spirits visiting. I don't know. I don't see that. I think it depends which plane you're working on. Maybe I don't know. And I think this is going to happen more and more because apparently the masters want to. What they call it, externalise, that's right, externalise themselves. So I think a lot more of them are going to be coming to the earth plane. And of course there are so many of them here already that, you know, are ascended, but they're working in very ordinary jobs and they look ordinary. Although I think you can sense one. I can anyway, and many years ago in the Arboretum in Wiltshire, lovely, huge area of woodlands and Japanese maples, and fantastic place. I love it. It's a huge area, and you can wander through these trees on a weekend and then have tea afterwards. It's magical. I miss it all. I'm in a place now we don't have that kind of thing. But anyway, I was leaning against a tree, and this lady walked by with a wheelchair, and the man was sitting with his feet just above the ground, and he looked at me and I looked at him as I knew him. It was just the energy that I recognised. He obviously was a master, and I called on him so long ago. I don't think he knew who I was, but that connection, he sensed that and I sensed it, and it was quite lovely actually. I'm quite lucky, aren't I, really? And I had lots of. This doesn't seem to happen in the middle of the night. I grumble at them. Where are you all? I'm not sleeping. I have insomnia. I don't think I sleep at all. I'm awake day and night. It's ridiculous. I'm in and out of bed about 10 times. I said I don't get exercise. I'm in and out of bed all night. But I think, where are you all? I could do with a companion, you know. I don't mean sex. I mean to talk to, you know, someone say something, you know, just cheer me up, you know. I don't really feel like putting the television on or the radio on, but there should be somebody around, I would have thought. I did have a phase of someone being more than somebody. I had 2 or 3 of them locked in this bungalow, spirits that wanted releasing. And they'd wait, I think this is where the insomnias come from. They would knock on the wall or bang on the wall or do something to get attention. They wanted me to wake up to get rid of them. There was one trapped in the bath, one in the bathroom. I found they seem to, I suppose they're looking for the light. They're a bit lost, and so they zoom in, but of course they don't know it's the middle of the night. And of course once you're woken up, can't get off again. Not really. So anyway, that's 9 minutes. Perhaps that's enough. I'm sure I've left a load out. I've got a load in here, but I make the notes, you see, and then of course once I start Once I start, it slightly changes. Anyway, it's nice to see you again. Have you missed me? I doubt it. I doubt it. But yeah, I just had to say that today. I think I'm going to call it the warm hands of spirit. It is nice to know, though, isn't it, that even though not all of us are able to see them or perceive them or even believe it, I'm odd, that they are there. You know, the loved ones, they are there. They're supporting us through this difficult time. I'm sure they are, and no matter what level they're at, they always zoom in. At very short notice, sometimes too quickly. I had an experience quite recently. I thought it was too powerful for me. It was really, it was a huge release to do with my daughter. We're all going through these releases, and I was knocked out for 2 or 3 days. And I said, "Gosh, that was too powerful." They must be able to measure how much energy they're using, I suppose, and maybe I needed it. But it's a nervous system. You see, the nervous system is the link between this plane and that plane, if you know what I mean, the spirit plane, and it's the nervous system that carries all the burdens and all the shocks I've had and lots of us have had are all locked in the nervous system, and of course they're sending all this beautiful electrical energy and our nervous systems have to deal with it, and I think sometimes they blow the circuits. I did have a master say to me once, "I'm going to have to change your circuits." So I think this is difficult because the physical body just has to cope with all this stuff, and the nervous system is, for us sensitive souls, very highly developed, you know. And I don't know whether, I think they must make mistakes. I don't know. We just have to trust that it's okay, don't we? So anyway, on that note. I might have some cereal. I'm getting fat, you see, because I'm eating cereal, eating biscuits, drinking hot chocolate all through the night. Every 2 hours I wake up, and I awake for a whole hour. And I don't really like reading at night. I think you look at YouTube, and in the end you get fed up with that. What can you do? I mean, you can't go for a drive in the middle of the night. My car hasn't moved for 2 weeks, and nobody's knocked on my door to see if I'm safe. Anyway, shops are open now, girls and boys. I don't go shopping very much. I'm not into shopping. I'm glad I'm not really. But you see all these queues of people can't wait to spend their money. On what? On what? I ask myself, I don't know. Anyway, I don't suppose money off you in the UK anyway. You're having your own little dramas where you are. So on that note, nice to talk to you again. I don't know what will be next time, a Christmas story I expect. If you've got any ideas or you want to talk to me or write to me, please do, won't you? Okay, love you lots. Take care. Sleep well. Bye-bye.